Hello, I'm JohntheFish and I'm going to tell you a bit about an add-on I've developed called Site Sniffer. Now, I have a development system that I've been using through various incarnations for Concrete 5 work for a number of years, and in that time I've accumulated an enormous number of Concrete 5 installations through different core versions for different purposes, for my own development, for customers, for PRB work, for add-ons for the marketplace, and there's hundreds of them. It's very hard for me to keep track of which add-ons I have installed on which of these development systems or development sites, so I produced Site Sniffer. What Site Sniffer does is it sniffs through everywhere on your development system and finds Concrete 5 sites and tells you what's on them. There's a little bit of configuration, so at the start we need to go to the Site Sniffer settings page, and here you can see I've entered some settings for directories and the URLs they're mapped to. Now, every web development installation will have a localhost URL and it'll be mapped to a directory, in this case home John Documents Web. For my development purposes, I order or organise my development directories by marketplace work, PRB work, customer work, my own work. There's a few others as well, and I have made entries in my Apache configuration and my hosts file to map these to other local URLs. Now, you don't have to do that. Site Sniffer would sniff out everything if you just had the local host and what's beneath it, but this is for my convenience. Localhost is last in this list because it's lowest priority, so that any site that's found within, for example, my marketplace development work won't also be reported under the localhost section of the report. I'm going to remove the customers from this list so that you don't see privileged information, and because I've now taken customers out of the list, the localhost report could find those customer sites anyway, so I'm going to take that out of the list as well. I'm going to search to a maximum depth of 4 directories beneath each of these. I'm going to include anything that's in a subdirectory called old sites, and I'm going to also scrape the package versions from the source code of the packages. So let's save that configuration. Settings have been saved, and now go to the report, and here Site Sniffer has trawled through all these directories and found a number of Concrete 5 sites. It's found a total of 70 sites, of which 30 share the same database server as my current site. Let's sort that by sequence there, so we can see here my current site and a bunch of verified databases in other sites. And let's see where I've got Site Sniffer installed. And here we have 9 sites on which Site Sniffer's installed. I've got it installed on the current site I'm working on, which is an 831 core. I've got my PRB test site, which is also an 831 core, and Site Sniffer's installed there at version 1.0, and a few other sites where Site Sniffer is installed. And down here you can see at version 8.2.1 of my PRB site I also have a couple of packages that are on the site but are still zipped up, not currently installed. Site Sniffer even finds zipped up packages if they're in the root of the packages directory for a site. I can filter that further. Let's look at purely 831 sites and purely 821 sites. So I have Site Sniffer installed on 5 sites across 831 and 821 versions. And that's it. One little thing, because they're local sites, hot links to go to those sites. So there's my 831 PRB site linked from that, and on that site I've got Site Sniffer installed, so I could have gone to the dashboard there and linked back to this site. So you can use it for navigation between sites, as well as for just generally finding where did I do the last piece of work on this particular package. Thank you for listening.